That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the July 17, 2023 edition of the Police Station Building Committee. And we are broadcasting today from training room, is it number 1, Chief?
Training room number 1.
Training room number 1 here at the new Shrewsbury Police Station. It's a beautiful room, and we're excited to be here. So we do have a quorum, and this meeting is called to order. First on the agenda, we have the minutes from June 26, 2023.
Move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from June 26, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted unanimously. Thank you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 0. Or is it 6? 1, 2, 3. 6 to 0. My bad. I can't count today. All right. Next on the agenda, we have review and act to approve bills, schedules, and warrants, and we have several this month. We have construction monitoring services, $60,000. Colliers, $2,235. Fontaine Brothers, $305,212. Tecton Architects, $12,355. Allied Testing Laboratories, $440. Hunt's Photo and Video, $490. And Eagle Leasing Company, $156. Any questions, comments, concerns with the bills and warrants? There being none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bills and warrants as just stated for a total of $380,000, $380,888. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. And next, item number 4, we have a presentation from Selco on the solar panels for the building, and we have Mr. Collins with us.
Sure. So, Pat, I'll start.
Oh, okay, Keith.
So for the past 6 or 7 months, I've been working with Selco to create a path to put solar on our public buildings, particularly this one because it's our newest one, and the Beal School, which also is a solar-ready building. But we identified other buildings working with Selco, such as Sherwood, Spring, Patton, Town Hall, Senior Center, and other buildings that we could put Selco on to make an entire town-wide project. And so the PD would be the first and prioritized building because it is so new. And so there are many ways you can purchase solar array systems. You can buy them outright, you can lease them, you can finance them through a third party, all kinds of different ways. We're very fortunate to have a partner with Selco. And most communities that don't have Immunity Light have to work with a third party vendor because they're dealing with Eversource or National Grid or Unitil or something like that. So we've had some great conversations to try and solve this and benefit the community with solar to help reduce taxpayers' ratepayers' rates, right? So Patrick's going to run through a few slides, and I'll talk about the technical aspects and the costs of the project. And then after that, I have a few more comments, and we can have some questions.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I'm Patrick Collins from Selco, and this is a pretty exciting project. We're here to support the town in solarizing public buildings. And here is just a prelim design that we worked up. As you can see, there's some panels over the carport here and the flat roof. So just some quick overview on the specs of this project. We solicited some quotes from 3 different companies, and we assessed them all. The average size came in around 210 kW DC. That is combining both the rooftop and the carport systems. And just as a point of comparison, residential systems are about 10 kW. The estimated annual energy production is around 230,000 kilowatt hours, and this is enough power to provide about 25 homes in Shrewsbury every year. And the lifespan is up to 25 years, and the estimated cost is $560,000. And with the new Inflation Reduction Act direct pay incentive from the federal government of 30%, that reduces the cost to just under $400,000. So there's some financial benefits over the lifespan of this system. So the energy savings, so the savings Selco realizes by not purchasing kilowatt hours out in the wholesale energy market is estimated to be around $224,000, which is about $9,000 annually. And then for peak cost reduction, that is estimated to be around $98,000, which is about $4,000 per year. And those are the costs that we would avoid paying in transmission and capacity payments on very hot days like today. And then there's also savings for RECs, or renewable energy certificates, and that is a total of $156,000. And those are costs that we would see by not purchasing RECs out in the open market. And so combined, this is about $478,000 over 25 years, or $19,000 annually. And really, this is a hedge in the wholesale energy market. So when we localize power sources, we don't have to buy power out in the volatile wholesale energy market. So the more we can bring it inside Shrewsbury, the better. And the net benefit, so the total project cost minus the lifetime savings is $86,000. And these savings will be distributed to all of our ratepayers, and it's not just limited to the police station building. And there's also, of course, non-financial benefits associated with going solar. So, as I mentioned, localizing energy generation really increases reliability and hedges us against volatility in the open market. And this enables long-term planning for Selco. And this is just really an initial step in an overall approach to solarizing public buildings. As Keith mentioned, there's a few other buildings that can be solarized. And that can amount to quite a lot of capacity, 1.6 megawatts. So it can really be expanded and scaled up. And as we push more towards electrification, the energy that these systems provide can directly serve those assets in our buildings that are going electric. So supporting Selco in this endeavor means supporting Shrewsbury as a community. And that's it.
Thank you. Keith, you
so
had
just
further comments?
Yep, just a couple more things. So we're asking for project funds to build this out on this building. This will be the initial project in town, and after that, Selco will use other funding, grants, something like that, to do other buildings. So this is kind of the catalyst for that, for the town-wide project as it is. And this project will be run by, will be put on the building by a Selco vendor working alongside DPW. It will not be part of the project team's purview, meaning Fontaine and CMS, because likely this will happen after final closeout on the project. So Selco is still working with vendors on quotes, and we would come back in August and ask for a not to exceed cost when authorize the town manager to execute the contracts for the project, and then have it again managed by Selco and DPW.
And the funding for that would come from
Owner's contingency.
owner's contingency, okay. Any other questions? Donna?
I'm not sure if I'm following this totally.
What kind of annual maintenance costs are we looking at with things like that?
I don't know if Patrick, if you know that.
As to a number, I can get that. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but usually it includes the cost of annual cleaning of the panels to make sure that they operate efficiently, and any maintenance to any damaged parts, and then the inverters about halfway through the lifespan do need to be upgraded or replaced. So.
And my other question is around the roof itself. What happens if we have roof problems? Either as a result of the panels or not as a result of the panels? How is that mitigated with all the panels up there?
Well, I think typically we repair as we normally repair. Our expectation with the install, it would be that it's installed safely for the roof.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the lifespan, I'm just thinking that if the panels are good for 25 years, that's about the time we would probably need a new roof on the building, correct?
Not for the flat roof. The flat roof's a 50-year roof.
50-year roof, okay. Okay, so then after 25 years, we would have to buy new panels again then?
If Selco chooses to do it
Not
that
that
way, yep.
I'm gonna worry about that now, but.
We don't have that presentation in our,
We do
do
not.
we do? It's
I
there?
didn't- I didn't
Yeah,
see
it
the presentation.
It was in the drive, the latest one.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just to follow up on what you had, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
So the 25 years, Pat, is that for just the panels, for maintenance?
That
Life is-
cost is everything combined.
So it's the whole solar array and the...
Yep, total upfront
You
cost.
said the
for everything.
inverter probably need to be done halfway through,
Mhm.
correct?
Yep,
Okay. And then the rest of the equipment, the panels and everything else, the associated is after 25 years.
correct,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, so, and my last question is on the budget regarding, we have approximately $874,000 left in the owner's contingency.
Yep.
We're putting 560 into it, and then we'd have to wait for any rebates. That's getting us very close. So what are we anticipating or are we anticipating? Let me ask this a different way. Was this $560,000 anticipated initially in the owner's contingency?
No. But,
Okay.
but I think based on where we are today and the known changes that are out there and what we think we're gonna incur to finish, that we should have that available to us on the contingency line.
So you think we'll be okay?
Yep.
Thoughts? Kevin?
Is that how it works? Is it, or do we wait for a rebate from the federal government for that, whatever it is, 100,000?
So it would be similar to filing taxes, so it would be the next calendar year. It would be a direct payment. So I guess it depends on when we would do
Okay.
the project, when it's operational, and then when we file for the tax credit.
Is that a credit that goes to Selco, or
Yes.
Selco is the operator?
Yep.
Okay.
So that would go back to Selco, that wouldn't come back to the building committee budget for, and then lowering the borrowing cost?
We'd have to talk about that.
I
So
mean,
that wouldn't just go back to the general fund?
Not if it's a rebate for the Selco as the owner-operator.
And the reason I asked that, Mr. Manager, is because it's specific to the building.
Yep.
So, you know,
I don't know, I mean.
yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know
yeah,
if Keith
obviously.
has any insight into that part of it, or.
I don't actually.
Okay.
I mean,
We can find out for sure.
I think I'm in favor of this project. I would like a little more information. Number one, the maintenance costs from Mr. Collins, if we could get that. Number two, if we can get any more information on the rebates and how that would work in terms of where we are, you know, with the final budget on this, because
Yep.
last thing we want to do is go over.
Not an option.
Absolutely not an option. Is that reasonable? Joe, do you have something?
Yeah, I just had a question for the town manager. Do we have to have town meeting approval for this, where it's, or is this considered part of the building construction?
Well, the building was established with the ability to add solar from the outset, so I can double check to be sure, but I think we
Okay.
should be fine.
Okay.
Yep.
And my other question was, are there currently, I don't know, Keith, if you can answer this, are there currently 3 vendors that you have that are solid, that you have quotes from, or?
Selco has 3 budget quotes from them,
Okay.
and we would have, they will be creating specifications, so they all see the same thing, and we'll re-quote it again.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, all right. So I think at this point, I think we need a little, what's the timeline that you're looking at, Keith?
Well, so that we're taking this month to get the correct quotes, and we can answer all your questions, including the town meeting part.
So if we put this off for a month, it wouldn't?
Oh, sure, I was not asking for a vote this evening.
Okay, all
Not
right,
at all. Nope.
okay. All right,
So-
no, it's
so-
good
So
information.
we wanted to come back, this is a presentation to let you understand what we want to do,
Mhm.
and then we'll come back in a month, the next meeting, with answers to your questions, and then a hard number.
And the bid, just remind me, the bid we have for 560,000, I think, did we go out and bid that, or is that?
They got 3 quotes,
3
3
bids.
budget
Oh,
quotes.
that's what I thought. I
But
just-
then they're budget quotes, they weren't advertised bids.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
And Pat will take the budget, we'll update it based on change orders that may or may not be approved later at this meeting. We'll bring everything current.
Mhm.
And we'll start to really dig into the detail of what's left, what we
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
allocating
I think
for
we really
future
need to start
changes.
fine tuning things.
Yep, we'll do that. We'll do all that for next month.
Okay, all right, great.
And that was the other point too, is it's another month further on with the project, so we know,
Right,
you know, we'll be very close to done in August. so.
right, okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Collins, appreciate the information.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, next we have our reports. We have the owner's project manager. Neil, you're up.
Thank you, Pat. Just circling back to the budget, updated budget that was presented with your packet this evening includes the invoices that were presented tonight and approved for payment. So our total expenditures to date, right now, project-related, are a little under 33.55 million. We have about 3.45 million left in expenditure of the $37 million total project budget. We're just under 91% complete. And I will be happy to entertain any questions on the budget.
And the budget didn't include, that's not including
Does not.
any of these change orders?
That is
Okay.
correct.
All right, good. Questions on the budget? No?
Good.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Very good. Next, we have Matt from Tecton Architects.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be in the space finally after all this
Yes.
time. When we started this, it was just a couple of trees out here, so here we are. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because, like last month, there's not too much going on outside to update you on, but we are making progress in between the downpours and the rain showers and heat out on site. So this is just a view from the front of Town Hall, looking back towards the progress at the new parking area that's being final graded out in that area. Getting a little bit closer to that back lot, you can see that some of the light pole bases have been installed, conduit and everything's been run, so just getting ready for to really fine tune the final grade and start putting binder course down and things like that. So things are really shaping up out there. This is a view looking back towards the police station from the back of the lot as well. You can see some more of the same. And additionally, this is the sort of the future drive that will go along the front of Town Hall, right towards the police station itself. And on the left, there's the bio basin that sits at the front of or the back side of the Grove that's getting created. Some of the structures are in there as well, and it's been piped too. Heading a little bit, heading a little bit closer to Maple Ave. You see some work is getting made around the Veterans Memorial. Conduit has been placed for the replacement of the light fixtures that are going to be going into that area and prepping for the street sign and things like that. So everything's sort of getting ready for that final push to really clean everything up and get the final finishes, exterior finishes placed down. And this is the back side of that Grove, so just off to the left is the new public police station drive. You can see some minor grading that was redone in here using some excess soil that we had on site as they dug out the bio basin, so we were able to utilize that in these areas without affecting the tree bases or anything like that. It'll help drainage, improve drainage in this area, as well as it loses some of that soil that we don't want to export because there's a cost associated with that. That's pretty much it for on-site. One image I did want to bring up, as you saw as you came in, we talked about this a little bit last month as well, some of the stormwater drainage issues that we do have in a couple of spots, and this being the worst of it along Maple Ave as you come into the police station site. So we have a solution for that. It was alluded to in your committee update on Friday, and we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail under agenda item number 8. So any questions on any of this or progress in general?
No. Donna?
To the left of the driveway entrance for employees, it's unfinished looking? Is there any plan for that corner?
So that will all get hydro seeding and grass similar to what's
Oh, it
in the
will?
front there.
Okay.
If you look past the pond, there's trees and other plants back there.
Yeah.
That's the stockpile for all the material that's going over in the parking lot or in the town hall parking lot. So they're leaving that open as a, they don't want to finish it and then have skid steers tear it up when they pull all the trees and plantings out. It's a good spot for all that because it's kind of in the shade and they water it through the detention system. So it works well there, but that's why it looks unfinished in that area, because it is.
And Matt, just, are we finalized now on the picnic tables and what the walkways and all that stuff look like? Have there been any changes to that?
No, there hasn't been any changes. I think we're okay with those at the moment.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's my understanding.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, Matt. Anything else? Anybody? No? All right, next we have Ryan, our construction manager from Fontaine Brothers.
So to expand on what Matt said, outside, all the drainage is in, all of the underground lighting conduits, pretty much from the new driveway across to the back of the site is complete. They have probably half of it from the back of the site to the front of Maple Ave done. We have to bring in some new EV charger conduits. That work's gonna be ongoing this week, and this morning We crossed over into the side garden area of the town hall by the transformer and the generator for the town hall, and we started the process of getting there's a bunch of conduits that run redundancy from the police station to the town hall. So we're shoveling by hand to work around the primary conduits and gas lines and everything around that area in conjunction with Selco to get that work out. So within the next couple of days, we hope to be out of that side there and have the rest of the electrical work finished in the area that's currently fenced in right now. At that point, we'll bring this front driveway that connects into the public side of the police station entrance up to subgrade and shift the fencing around to get the last of the electrical work close to the town hall completed. At that point, we'll get the site into binder and do our remaining finishes. So I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks, we're into binder on the site. Just kind of trying to get the last of the pieces together and limit any disturbances to the town hall. On the punch list front, we've made a lot of good progress in the past couple of weeks. Myself and Tyler from Tecton, we're down to just about 90 remaining punch list items. The majority of those are, over half of them are exterior, a good portion of them being brick, and then a couple other subs that have larger chunks of them. The brick, that we're expecting to have the mason come back when he does the enclosure around the digital site sign. He's going to address all those then, and then we just have a few stragglers on the inside of the building that we're working through right now. So all those are coming together very nicely. With that, the digital sign, we are just waiting on the rebar to come in to do the foundation for that, as well as a final cut and cap at the back side of the sidewalk for the old drainage and water service for the former police station. There was just some coordination between water and sewer and one of Amarillo's vendors to get that work completed. So since that's 8 feet down in the ground in close proximity to the digital sign, we didn't want to dig that out and undermine the sign before putting that in. So that's going to be coming next week, I believe that is. On the inside, the chief's, the sink that was added in the chief's area, we have all of the associated, I don't want to call it demolition, selective demolition, to open up the areas to start that prep work is completed. That was an effort for the second half of last week, and tomorrow the plumber is going to be coming in and coring the holes from through the slab to get all their drains in, and we're hoping by the end of this week that all the plumbing is done, and we'll start putting the rest of the everything back together. So far, everything's gone very smoothly, and a lot of the allowances that we placed out in that PCO are coming in under what I initially budgeted just on the first half of taking everything apart. So I'm hopeful that trend will continue and we won't utilize all the allowances that were laid out in that. So overall, that's going good. It's always a concern anytime you renovate stuff. I like to build it new, so I'm not the one that prefers renovating. But otherwise, everything, just trying to close up all the loose ends and get finished.
Excellent. Questions? Nothing. Very thorough. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
All right, next we have review and act on the following Fontaine Brothers change orders, change order 17, which we should all have a copy of.
So I'll start on this, Pat.
All right.
There are 3 items for consideration by the committee. The first one is revisiting the additional mailbox millwork that we talked about last month. We did develop an alternative solution which adds an additional up to 48 additional mailboxes, and that was repurposing some of the upper shelving in the report prep room at a cost of $1,511.67. So it was much more cost effective and got a much greater return on the dollars spent for the town. So I trust the committee will find that to be acceptable.
I liked it when I saw it.
I'll skip PCO 138 for now, because I'm sure that we'll have some more discussion. The last item is the press briefing backdrops, which we had talked about again at the last meeting. We had finalized the design and the scope to provide 2 press briefing backdrops is $3,193.19. That's one, I believe the intent is one will be permanently set up for this room, and one will be on a portable stand that can be moved to a remote location if so desired by the department. The third item is PCO 138. It's a series of relatively minor electrical and security revisions. There are a lot of moving parts to this, so I will walk through each of the itemized changes, and then I'll ask Ryan to have an itemized cost of each of the items available to the committee this evening. So the first one is to add a door chime. It's essentially a motion sensor at the front entrance, so that if someone does not have physical eyes or a camera on the front door when someone enters the lobby, there'll be an audio tone that indicates to dispatch that someone has entered the building through the front entrance. There was a request for an added card reader in the man trap, which is, I believe, the egress point from the cell block and detention area to the exterior of the building. The video entrance system software is a request to provide multiple workstation licenses for a software system that was provided for the station's use. There was a request for a notification bell at the dispatch service window. That would just essentially be an automated doorbell if somebody comes to the window and there isn't an attendant right at the glass, to notify them that someone is there and waiting for a service or a service call or appointment. And then lastly was the provision of some under cabinet lighting below the upper cabinets at that service desk inside of dispatch. We found the space to be relatively dark, and there was a request to provide under cabinet lighting to remedy it. So the total cost of the change is $28,886.76, and the relative division of work is as follows.
So for the door chime portion of it, it was at $2,500. The video entry system would be 2 lifetime licenses at $5,500. The notification bell at the dispatch service window was another $2,500. The under cabinet lighting was $5,000, and the door card reader was $12,000, and the higher cost at that is just not only the licenses and hardwares for that additional access control, but just also the location, going from running security cabling from the MDF room, which is right behind dispatch, all the way to the bail man trap door, was a part of the labor cost for that, so.
Okay. Questions? Chief, any comments?
Come on, Donna. Anything.
I got a question.
Sure, Joe.
What's the difference between the chime at the front and the buzzer? If it's a chime, isn't that gonna alert somebody in dispatch?
So as I understand, the door chime is a motion sensor at the front door. So when somebody breaks it, they can come in.
Okay,
That's in the vestibule door.
That's at the vestibule door. The notification bell at dispatch is presuming somebody comes in with good intent and rings the bell at the service desk
Okay.
that they would like to see somebody or otherwise be served, if you will.
thank you.
Okay?
What's been happening lately is, the dispatchers can't see,
Oh, okay,
can't see them waiting in the lobby.
all right,
So it would just help them get better service.
that's fine.
Question? Kevin?
So the front door chime, chief, what's been going on with that?
So again, that's to let the dispatchers know that somebody just entered the building.
Entered the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of cameras having sat in dispatch, there are a lot of cameras to watch, and
Yeah.
it's impossible to see all of them, so.
Right.
I think that's good use. Chief, could you give me an example? I'm trying to understand how and when the card reader would be used in the man trap. Could you give me an example of how that might be utilized?
Sure, so it'd be the door that actually accesses the outside.
Okay,
So right now, the only way to go open that would be with a key. Not all officers have a key. And there's another way you could go on the phone system, but you would have to go back into the room to do that. So this way it would allow the officer to swipe a card and allow that person that's gonna be able to leave.
and that gets
Also,
them right into the cell area, or in and out of the cell area?
That would let them outside, and that would give us a record of when they were released.
So this is for when you're releasing a prisoner?
Yes.
Got it.
So-
Okay.
So just to further clarify, Pat, right now, the only way, if the officer doesn't have the physical key.
Yep,
The only way to release a prisoner through the bail exit door
Sure.
is for dispatch to remotely release them.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So this'll allow them to have an officer
And provide a record.
release them and provide a record.
And is there a camera back there as well?
There is.
Okay. Cool. I just wanted to have a better understanding of the purpose of that.
Yep.
Any other questions? No. I'm actually okay with this one. All right.
Need a motion?
One question on the backdrops. I assume that the second one will be mounted here. I'm assuming the second one comes with a stand?
Yeah, so there'll be, just to further detail it, so there'll be two. One of them will be sort of an 8-foot wide by 6-foot tall
Yep.
frame that just gets disassembled into a package. And
Yep.
then they can take that, it's kind of like a trade show booth. They can take that wherever, if they need to do a press briefing outside, another building, some other incident in town. They can take that with them, set it up. It's pretty much the same thing we use for our trade show booth,
Sure.
actually. It takes about 20 minutes to set up at
Yeah,
most.
yeah.
The other one, there'll be grommets on that ledger on the top there,
Mm-hmm.
and eyelets within the press briefing, so they can just hook it on when they need to, and then it'll just pop off and they can roll it up and store it in a closet.
Okay, fine. Just wanted to make sure that it was a complete unit, that we didn't then have to go out and buy the stand for it.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a motion on this, on change order 17?
Move we approve change order 17.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve change order 17 for the amount of $33,591.62. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Thank you. Not so bad. We're not so bad.
Your words, not ours. You're always fair.
Let's see. Item number 7, review and discuss station dedication ceremony and public open house. Who is taking that one? Neil? Oh, I saw your hand up. I didn't know if you were.
No, scratching.
I'm happy to.
Kevin?
Oh, sure.
So there've been well, obviously, we're looking to get something on the books and send a save the date out.
Mhm.
Number of people that we would like to invite, and we'll develop a speaking program and just, want to make sure we have 100% of attendance, so we
Sure.
want to give folks notice. I think there's been multiple thoughts on when exactly to do it, and I think that's open for conversation. I know there's been a suggestion of the third week of the month, sometime around the middle of that week. The other consideration would be September 11th is a Monday, and I know we're doing something maybe with the steel that's out front, so something that day or that week as well. So I think within those second 2 weeks of September is what we're looking to target, and should work very well with greenery and things being cleaned up and establishing themselves to kind of have a complete picture for the public's first impression.
Does the committee have a preference? Are you looking for a Monday, Kevin, or?
It doesn't matter to me which day of the week is. I don't
No.
know if the chief has a preference on how he'd like to handle that, or if there's any other specifics regarding the 9/11 piece installation.
So, yeah, my thought was either 9/11 for obvious reasons, or the third week of September, right around Spirit of Shrewsbury.
Mhm.
Maybe have that Wednesday or Thursday.
Interesting.
A lot of
thought.
people are around.
Yeah. I kind of like the Spirit of Shrewsbury thing, because people are out and about, and it could actually be a destination stop for people as they're going around town.
Fine with
You know,
you.
and it kind of sets the September, because we're going to be dedicating the memorial that day. It kind of sets that on its own, I think, which I think is important, in my opinion, anyway. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
No, makes sense.
So, yeah, I like it around the Spirit of Shrewsbury. What I would like to see around that, too, is people like to get things. And I've been thinking about this a little bit. When they come in, we're trying to connect with the community. And you know the little latex wristbands that all the kids are wearing? Do we have any of those for the Shrewsbury Police Department?
We currently don't.
Maybe with the phone number? I'm thinking that's something that we could use some of our contingency. I don't know how much it would be. I don't think they're very expensive. Buy some as people came in, took a tour of the building. The kids could walk out with a wristband.
Sure.
I don't know if we can look into that, Alex. And Chief, you could, whatever design you would like, I think would be. But I think it's something, it would get the kids excited, and, they like things like that.
Sure.
And even the adults, a lot of people wear them for whatever it is. So,
Sounds good.
just my thought. All right. Cool. So that would be what date then, Kevin, for the save the date?
I think it's the 20th. I don't have it.
Wednesday, the 20th?
Wednesday or Thursday. Either's fine.
Do we have food trucks too, on Thursday?
September.
In September, do we?
Let's do it Thursday then. People will be here.
Yeah.
It's a different time of day.
What time are we doing the dedication?
I mean, yeah, I mean, traditionally dedications have been a morning event, but it doesn't, I mean, it's up to the committee however you want to manage it. I don't know what the activities of the Spirit of Shrewsbury are off the top of my head that week at
Yeah.
all, so I don't know how coordinated
Don't either.
or discoordinated you want to
I'm just thinking, could we put it together with the food truck thing? I mean, we know how crowded that gets. It might get more people over for the open house.
That too,
Yeah.
food truck.
I mean, the one time I've been this summer, it was jammed. It's a short walk over. Is there any way we could do a
But we should do it
4
in
o'clock
the,
dedication?
you don't think we should do it in the morning?
Well, I thought if we did the dedication and then had the open house, say like 4:30 to 6:30, that's right in line with the food trucks. I think it would attract more people.
So,
You're saying have the ceremony in the morning and then have the open house at night?
Or we could, no, I was thinking we could do the ceremony
do.
at, say, 4.
Can't do it.
Oh, I can, yeah.
Can we do that? I don't,
you'd have to coordinate it with whoever's got the schedule for Spirit of Shrewsbury to be sure that they don't have anything at that time.
we can look into that. But I mean, if we do that date, though, that Thursday, and then we can figure out, if we use that as the save the date, then we can work out logistics around that. That gives us, 2 months?
Pat, did you say Wednesday or Thursday?
I was thinking Thursday, only because if we can do it in the afternoon, it's closer to the Spirit of Shrewsbury Festival and all the activities. I don't know if they'll have anything else going on, but it also coordinates with the food trucks. And there are hundreds of people that come for that every week. So if they're there, they're more likely to come over and see the new police station. And I think it just better connects town hall with the police station, the whole thing, as one municipal campus. I know it's not traditional, but let's be different.
I like it. Very good idea.
All right. Anything else on the open house and dedication ceremony? No?
No.
You look doubtful, Donna.
I just like it in the morning. I'm thinking you should keep those activities separate, was my opinion, but if you like it, it's okay.
We'll discuss it further.
I mean,
Matt,
I think if people are
any
coming.
suggestion?
What's that?
I was reaching out to Matt.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's all good to me.
Yeah, same here.
I just think that we shouldn't wait until your August meeting to
No.
finalize this.
Right. Well,
So
all
we can
right,
gather
so,
some more information and then work with whoever to confirm
yeah,
on the committee.
I'll find the Spirit of Shrewsbury Committee and reach out to them. Okay, all right. If you want to forward that to me, Alex, I'll contact them and see what their thoughts are on it.
You might want to tell the trucks that there's that added event so that they
To load
can-
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? What are
We
your
can
thoughts down
we can
here?
work with the recreation department on that.
I'm sorry?
We can work with the recreation department on the trucks.
Okay, what are your thoughts on that? Do you like it or the more traditional morning?
I like both ways, actually. I think I would prefer the actual ceremony in the morning and then
The open house in the
open house in the
afternoon?
afternoon, but
We can do that too.
Oh, I'm just not trying to put a damper on your idea, but I don't see a connection between the food trucks and the police station. I think the police station should stand alone.
Right, well,
And if people want to come to the police station dedication, they
Mhm.
will. I don't think just because they're buying a tater tot, they should roll on over. I don't know. It's whatever you want to do.
I think like food truck makes everything a little more festive.
Well, that was kind of my
Doesn't like
thought
a
on it.
Food truck, come on.
I just thought people are already here and it just kind of connects everything. But I'm open to it. All right, we'll talk about it more offline.
Okay.
All right, okay, thanks, everybody.
In the meantime, we'll hold the 21st.
Either way, you could still do the
Morning or
21st,
afternoon.
whether
Yes,
it's morning or
yes,
afternoon.
yes, we'll hold that date.
Okay.
All right, item number 8, review and discuss supplemental stormwater mitigation strategies.
All
What have we
right.
got on that? Matt?
So, that was a long segue from the lead-in. But, so we do have some stormwater concerns on site. We've been working pretty closely, between this team, Fuss & O'Neill, our civil engineer, and the town engineer, at coming up with some options that would be not very painful, but would help deal with some of the stormwater issues that we're facing. So the site area, the area itself has had a long history of issues with stormwater, bad draining soils, things like that. You know, we're abutting wetlands and all around the property outside of our area of work. We wanted to suggest a few alternative strategies that we could undertake in order to help improve it, prevent the ponding that we're experiencing down on Maple Ave, you know, preventing that from getting worse over time, and then, so that'll deal with that one, and then also the other bioretention basins that we have throughout the site. If you go out there on any given day after a large storm event, it'll drain down relatively quickly, and it'll get to a low point of about a foot or so, and then it'll sort of stop draining into the soils themselves. And so we want to prevent that water from stagnating and being standing, and start to get that out of the basins a little bit faster. So what we're proposing is, in the bio basins that have been installed already, is creating an under drain at the outlet. So creating a little crushed stone pad in an under drain, and then cutting into the basin outlet a little bit lower, so that last 1 foot of headwater, we can start to exfiltrate a little bit faster and get it into the storm drainage system itself. We'll also provide a flared end in an RCP pipe to provide an outlet from the tree grove in that area that's ponding, and get that drained across underneath the drive to the bio basin that they're currently building outside of the grove area, and increase the capacity of that bio basin to take that added flow. And then the last piece we can sort of ignore, so there'll be one of those little under drains added here, and that'll help mitigate that flow for that last little head, static head of water that's sitting there. And then from the grove area over here, so this is the new public drive into the police station, and this is where that photo was taken, where that ponding was occurring. We'd add a yard drain here, and pipe that under the street, under the driveway, which is just, in binder course right now. It's not final paved, so getting that crossing right now wouldn't be too difficult. And then bringing that into this bioretention basin that's here, that's sitting at the front of the new town hall parking lot, and increasing its size a little bit. There's another piece to this, with adding additional site drainage out in this portion behind the Veterans Memorial and bringing that into the biobasin. We don't think we're gonna need that because we had that additional soil that was pulled out of the biobasin excavation that they were able to use to roughly grade out that area, which was in one of the photos we had shared earlier. With all the storms we had over the past weeks, there's been no real standing water experience in that area, so we don't think ponding's gonna be an issue. So we wouldn't recommend doing anything additional there. So I think adding the stone under drains at the existing basins and then adding this yard drain and piping it over is gonna mitigate any of the issues that have been experienced thus far. And this has been one of the rainiest summers on record, so I think that'll put us in really good shape moving forward in the future. This has been a moving target for the past couple of months, trying to really come up with a strategy that's gonna be the least impactful budget-wise, but most impactful performance-wise. And we've just sort of resolved to what we think is gonna be the best solution. Town engineers looked at it, has approved it, so we're in good shape there, but we're just we're building the numbers up. I think Ryan was able to pull down some rough numbers, and we'd like to, if you want to run through that, Ryan, and hopefully we can get the committee to agree to this number as a not to exceed, so we can start working on this now and get it done without having to rip things out as they get finished and redo anything.
So just to kind of summarize the two parts that make up the total not to exceed number. The first part being the ponding, that's just to the right of the main entrance, of the front entrance as you're coming in. That the associated work with that would be to take out that section of sidewalk and open up the driveway there that's still in binder and put concrete pipe into a catch basin that then ties into the drainage pond that's at the front of the town hall lot. So that portion of work, we're looking at approximately $11,000 to do. And then the second piece of that would be the stone under drains that we're gonna put in all 4 of the detention ponds to help drop the level of the ponds more quickly. And that would be another $6,000. So in total, we'd be looking at roughly $17,000 to complete all the work to address the drainage issues that we're now seeing as we're coming closer to a final condition on the site. So what Matt has highlighted is the first portion. That would be so the yellow, the second half is already there. So the $11,000 would be from the end all the way on what you're looking at would be screen right, and then to that first catch basin that's on the edge of the roadway there. The other portion is already installed to catch the rainwater that's coming down from the backside of the lot towards Maple Ave to limit the amount of water that's running onto Maple Ave as is required for the MassDOT acceptance.
Whose $17,000 is that?
So our thought is we would, since it's kind of a construction, we had movement in the building elevation and all that, the thought would be that we'd use a portion of the $159,000 of CM contingency that we have remaining to fund that.
And one thing I was going to say was that I am amazed that you only have that one puddle, because that always looked like that in that whole area. If you'd only have that one spot, I think it's pretty amazing. Because when I asked that question months ago about that drainage, and I was really concerned, I thought, I just can't even imagine that they're gonna engineer that, and you did, so.
Yeah, our major concern was trying to keep as much of that front grove intact as possible, just knowing what the committee's intent was. So obviously, when you start digging and adding drainage within the canopies of trees, you have the greater likelihood of hurting the tree's root system and killing the
Yeah.
trees. So we try and our best to stay out of that area as much as
Yeah.
possible. But now, while we're still here and that can still be done, this is kind of the ideal time to do that work.
It's amazing.
Kevin?
So did you mention that whatever work you're doing in other detention basins around this building does not need to be done to that one at the town hall? Is that what you said?
So, yeah, so one of the things that's on this drawing here is there's an additional inlet here. Oop. Sorry about that. Inlet here, and it connects to a piece of pipe that we would add that runs up, and there's a weird issue with elevation changes and connects to here and then back down, because we were concerned that there would be the same sort of issue in this area. But we're not experiencing it, so we're not gonna recommend adding in this very expensive piece of, it'd be 3 times more than the other piece of pipe to mitigate an issue that doesn't exist on site. The issue with this piece is, over here, you're just basically draining from the sidewalks inward, whereas this one location, you're draining all of this site area down into this one location. And there's nothing to pick it up, so it just sort of gets down into this low spot here and just pools. And because we're 1.5 feet above the water table, there's nowhere for that water to go.
Anything down here? So Ryan, you're saying your not to exceed is 17,000, or do you need some
Yeah.
wiggle room with that?
I think that would be safe for us. I mean, if we wanted to go to $20,000 just to have a
Okay.
factor of
Yeah.
safety in there.
Why don't we say 20?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I guess we're proposing a motion for the committee's consideration to approve the drainage work for the catch basins not to exceed $20,000 to mitigate the ponding that's occurring? Is that what we're asking for? Do we have a motion?
So move within is it called the CM contingency?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a
Second.
second? We have a motion and a second to approve drainage work on the catch basins not to exceed $20,000 coming out of the CM contingency. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Good, thank you. All right, and that brings us to the meeting schedule, which we kind of covered a little bit. But we also have August 21st. August 21 is the date of the Hannah Kane Charity Classic. That's usually, I don't know how many, I know I'm playing in it. I don't know if anybody
I don't golf.
else is. So I may be late or not at that meeting. It's something I play in almost every year. And it's a nice event. I just wanted to make the committee aware of that that's a busy day. But that's fine, we can keep that. And then we have September 18th for our regular meeting. We're holding the 21st for possibly the dedication ceremony, and then October 16th, 2023. Any concerns?
Who do we invite?
Two.
The dedication?
Good question.
Everybody in town.
Yeah.
We can
I would
develop the
assume-
speaker's agenda
Yeah.
and then, or
I mean, I
the
would
committee.
assume Senator Moore and Representative Kane, and we don't have a lieutenant governor from Shrewsbury anymore, but
She's asked.
yeah, but certainly, yeah, we'd love to have, she
Well,
was so part and parcel.
so
to-
do you invite the governor and lieutenant governor just as a formality?
I don't know, I've never done this before.
Might as well.
Do we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
either they come or they don't.
Okay,
It's a party, we have food trucks.
I know.
hopefully. Yeah, that's fine with me. But that all depends on whether the food trucks are contingent on when we do the ceremony itself versus the open house. I don't think they'll stay all day.
I don't think it's ever bad to invite them, they can.
Right,
always
right, right.
Decline if
Yeah.
they can't make it, but it's more of a slight if we did not.
I don't know what the general protocol is, I'll be honest with you.
We'll develop a list for the committee and
Okay, okay, very good. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Do we need a band?
No, we don't need a band, mariachi band.
They're fun.
I just figured around that time people are gonna be here.